Before time began, there was
a movie called Transformers by Michael Bay. Hello, how are you, the people on the internet? This is probably my first video talking about a movie. But it's not gonna be a normal review, oh no. It's more like my personal experience and the reason why I love Transformers 2007 by Michael Bay. Back in 2007, I had a very rough life. My parents moved to the city while I was still in the village to finish my junior high school. I've been bullied for the rest of my life. People loved to make fun of me. And at the same time, I had difficulties to make friends or communicate. Also, back then, I only had my old Nokia as my first phone, with the infamous Snake 97 as my game. Internet are scarce and can only be accessed on specific locations. This was boring. No entertainments, no video games, no comics, and no friends. Until one day, my family went to Jakarta for a little holiday. We stayed in the family home until my cousin took me to my first ever experience, to the cinema. In my whole life, I never experienced what it feels like to be inside a cinema. It's a huge room with lots of people around, and the movie we are about to watch is Transformers by Michael Bay. And to be honest, at this point, I had no idea about Transformers. The last time, well, probably around 2000s era, there was a cartoon called Beast Wars, and that's the only one I ever knew anything about a Transformers franchise. And now, let's know about why Transformers 2007 changed my life forever. Not just as one of the first experience I had in the cinema. Transformers is also one of the first movie I ever watched in the big screen. It's epic, unforgettable, and everybody had a good time with it. This movie also introduced further about Transformers to me, and pretty much to the whole country. Suddenly robots are considered awesome. People are in love with Yellow Camaro, televisions went crazy with science fictions, local advertisements, toys, heck, even the local TV show copies of friggin' Transformers into their show. Unfortunately, not much known anything about, well, the sources. Well, it was quite obscure and there is no trace of it on the internet. Maybe a little bit stuff, which I'm gonna leave the link below, just in case if you're interested to check it out. It's a Transformers fever. Everybody all talking about it. People are in love with it, and it's such a huge impact that the locals TV starting to dub over some old G1 Transformers cartoon, which is pretty cool, especially for me who was so interested after watching the movie, and I want to know how the Generation 1 Transformers looks like.
Cukup! Hentikan! Ho! Here! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah!
Bruh.
Both kids and grown-ups, they won't shut up about this movie. It was such a blast. This movie is so good. Everybody just love it. And suddenly every kid around knows who Bumblebee is. They like Optimus Prime, even Megatron. They just know all these Autobots, and every single kid suddenly in love of Linkin Park too. The greatest metal band of all time, and it's all just because of that one song they played in the end credits of the movie. It's absolutely memorable. And those who watch Transformers in cinema is considered as a cool kid. I was one of them, and for the first time I had the courage. I love talking about it to my classmates. We'll become friends eventually. So much so I even managed to buy a pirated CD of the movie just so I can show it off and watch it with everybody. But one thing sticks with me. For the first time, I finally can make friends. For the first time, I feel like I'm part of them, just so we can have a topic to talk about. I raised the Transformers lore, the cartoon, toys, even Linkin Park back in the day where we just shared our MP3 through Bluetooth. The movie itself is all pretty simple honestly, but the presentation is amazing. Something that I love about Transformers 1 more than any of its sequel is the build-up. The build-up where Sam's slowly hunted down by Decepticons. The governments are slowly finding out about Transformers' existence. The build-up when Autobots came to Earth. The big reveal of Megatron and his escape from Sector 7. And the huge battle between Autobots and Decepticons. And let's not forget the CGI back then. It was so realistic, it's amazing. The soundtrack is epic and it's still stuck in my head to this day. It's kinda sad that the sequels rarely use this glorious theme. And if they did, I must have forgotten about it because how forgettable these sequels are. I love how their existence in the movie are still shrouded with mystery. And when they show up, it's a total annihilation. Unlike the sequels, where it's depicted to be already in our world since beginning of time, which is honestly, it's assassinate the mystery and lore from the first movie. It makes the first movie meaningless. The introduction scene, the characters, the Sector 7 and all Transformers battle in this movie are all well made that even to this day I can still memorize every single scene without having to watch a YouTube video. And for the characters, I find Sam rather, well, quite relatable. He's an awkward dude, yes. I think a lot of people saw him as a strange kid doing some stupid things just so he kinda looked like a clown everywhere. People make fun of him. And I can feel his resemblance on me, though, which ironically, I'm in my 26th and I can feel how hard everything was for Sam, especially in his entire trilogy, finishing high school, college, and finding a job. I mean, I watched all three of them. And yeah, I've been there. It's really painful to be an adult. But the difference are, there are no robots helping me here. Hey, sometimes I wish I can be helpful to the world too. But then again, I'm like Sam after all. We're only human, thrown into the harsh world like an out-of-place character that most people hated for being exist. And people only wants to see a cool robot killing each other. And I don't mind him. He's just relatable character to me. Sam character grew on me and I like his struggles. Shia LaBeouf is underrated. Michael Bay is doing an absolutely great job making this movie. And it's completely changed my life forever. It's also changed the local media trends. Suddenly robots and sci-fi is no longer cringe or, kind of childish. It's now considered as awesome, and the people, the media even starting to liking it. I know this entire video is just my personal opinions and my experience with this movie. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but for me, it's a great movie, hands down. 10 times better than the sequels, like none of them had the same presentation and the same feel as the first movie. If it's a movie you and your family can enjoy and everybody loved it, then it's a great movie for you. That's all from me. Thank you for watching and listening to this video. Many blessings and I hope you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.